Approximately 18 months after the first Spider-Man pitch meeting for Tom Holland comes Spider-Man Far From Home pitch meeting, because the first one was released December 10th, 2017, I believe.
Correct.
And this is released July 6th, 2019. So about 18 months.
Good math.
So, yeah.
Ish.
Oh, yes. Better than what we did before.
Yes.
If you're watching to the
Marginally.
end. Anywho, welcome, folks. I am Jaby Koay, joined by Achara Kirk. And Spider-Man Far From Home pitch meeting from Ryan George on Screen Rant. If you haven't checked out Ryan George's videos, you should definitely do that.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of great, funny content. Not related to movies so much, but to life. And so
Yes.
let's check this out, shall we?
So, you're in my office.
Yes, sir, I am.
Why is that happening?
Well, I have a pitch for a Spider-Man movie, you know, to wrap up Phase 3 of the MCU.
Oh, I kind of thought Avengers Endgame would be a good way to wrap up Phase 3, you know, end with a bang, then take a little break. Well, this Spider-Man movie's kind of like how you'd have a thin mint after a big meal, except, you know, this mint costs $160 million.
A very expensive mint.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I guess it'll be really interesting to dive into how the characters react to half the population disappearing and reappearing 5 years later. That's gotta be nuts to process.
Yeah, we're barely gonna explore that, though.
Oh, we're not?
Yeah.
Now, see, this episode of the Marvel show is a comedy, and all that seems pretty dark, so we're just gonna play the widespread death thing as a joke and then not really talk about it.
Well, okay then.
Anyway, it's gonna be interesting to see how things go now that Tony's gone, you know? Let the characters breathe a little.
Tony's gonna drive the whole movie.
Oh, he is?
Oh, yeah.
All the character motivations directly and indirectly, and all the technology that drives the plot. It's all Iron Man.
Well, people do like Iron Man.
Yeah, not ready to let go of him just yet. He's like a little safety blanket.
He is, yeah.
So anyway, in this movie, Peter wants a break from being a hero, and he goes on a little Euro trip with his classmates.
Okay.
But when he gets there, he realizes that Aunt May packed his Spidey suit for him. Oh yeah, what are we gonna do with that big Aunt May cliffhanger from Homecoming, you know, where she sees him as Spider-Man? Nothing, she's apparently just fine with it, and they work together. Oh, so that cliff ended up being more of like a tiny step? More like just more flat ground? Oh, it was a flat ground hanger, okay. Yeah, so anyway, Nick...
A flat ground hanger.
I completely forgot about the fact that it was never properly addressed.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of addressed it in the recent movie, No Way Home, where he's like, no, I can't go through that again without May. It was so awful.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah.
We never actually
we
came
never
up.
actually saw it, though, you know, yeah.
That actually kind of boggles my mind a little bit, because that was a big moment in No Way Home where it's like, I can't go through that again.
Yeah.
But it's like, we never actually saw you go through that, though. It was just this thing that's just sort of assumed, I suppose, that happened between movies. Like, got over that.
It just happened. Just
Yeah.
imagine, you know, that time in between the movies happening. That's when it happened. We didn't show you, so, but it's fine.
It's also, this is unrelated to the Spider-Man film, but it's interesting to me how in 18 months, the style completely changed.
Yeah, this is the style we know and love.
Yeah.
Fury approaches him because more flat ground. Oh, it was a flat ground hanger, okay. Yeah, so anyway, Nick Fury approaches him because these elemental creatures are attacking, right? And he's like the only Avenger that can help. How come? Well, he asks about Thor, and he's off-world, and Captain Marvel is busy, so there's just him. Well, what about Black Panther, or Bucky, or Falcon, or Ant-Man, or the Wasp, or Doctor Strange, or Scarlet Witch, or Pepper? Well, here's the thing. This is a Spider-Man movie, right? So I'm gonna need you to get all the way off my back about the other heroes. Oh, okay, let me get off of that thing. Great, thank you. So anyway, it turns out that Tony left Peter these billion-dollar glasses with a system called Edith.
Okay, and what's that all about?
Well, it lets Peter spy on people and control their technology and control an army of drones from space and kill anyone, anywhere, anytime.
Yeah, that killing technology sounds a whole lot like what Hydra wanted to use in the Winter Soldier. Why would Tony not only
shit,
make
yeah.
that, but give it to a child?
So the movie can happen. He also programmed it so Peter's the only one who can use it. Isn't Peter only brought back to life like 5 minutes before Tony dies? When would he have programmed that?
Unclear. Well, okay then.
Anyway, we're also gonna have Mysterio in this movie. A great villain. We're actually gonna pretend like he's a good guy so we can surprise everybody with a big twist halfway.
Okay, hold on. So, a couple things. The thing where Tony, you know, basically programs the glasses to give to Peter Parker, presumably he did that a while ago, before the blip.
Oh yeah.
Presumably.
I mean, maybe.
I mean,
That's possible.
yeah, I have no idea. So, I'm just,
I mean, that was a good point. I hadn't really thought about it that way before.
even if there was only, it wasn't 5 minutes, okay? There was a whole battle that happened. Even in terms of the screen time.
When would he have time? When would he have had time to do that?
The thing is he's got the Iron Man technology. He changes shit all the time. He could have easily been like, you know, January or whatever he calls his robot, his tech. He's got a different name for it.
It's not Jarvis.
Jupiter or
anyway.
something. It's not Jarvis, but it's something.
Yeah.
I forgot what he called it. February or something, right? He could have been like, okay, so
Friday.
Yeah, thank you. There you go. Could have been like, just transfer all
It's
the
a
things.
Robinson Crusoe reference.
Oh my God! Can I get this point out? He could have been like, transfer all the things to Peter Parker. When I'm dead or whatever. Like he could have said something like that easily. Boom, done. Barely an inconvenience. He's got that sort of tech. Doesn't matter that the whole Avengers facility went down. He still has that tech. It's in the sky.
Works for me.
Also, the whole thing with all these other Avengers that are totally available but never show up. That's just a common issue with every single superhero film where you've got crossover, and that's gonna continue to be a thing. You just sort of have to accept it. We experienced that in No Way Home. It's like, where are the other superheroes? Nowhere, except for Doctor Strange. But he's the So, but that's sort of a conceit. If they're not introduced in the movie, they're not gonna be in the story. You know, it's like that's sort of a comic book film paradox you just have to accept, I think.
Yeah, it kind of feels like that situation where, you know, someone's doing something and then you're all like, so you got this? Cool. Okay, bye. I'm going to bounce.
Yeah.
And then they just never come.
Right. I'm going to mention a No Way Home spoiler, okay? Just skip forward like 30 seconds if you don't want to hear it. So, Daredevil is in No Way Home, and he doesn't show up to the end fight.
Yeah, because he hasn't, you know.
He's a superhero.
That's true.
So all I'm saying is the superhero introduced in the movie doesn't show up to the end fight. Why not? Because the movie didn't want him to, that's why.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Daredevil was sitting at home listening to the news.
Catching bricks.
Yeah, exactly. He was catching all the bricks and was like, no, I think Peter Parker's got it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
He's a good guy, so we can surprise everybody with a big twist halfway. I guess that'll be a fun surprise for people who haven't heard of the classic villain Mysterio, or Google his name when the trailer comes out, or think about how evil his name sounds. I'm thinking we could surprise at least a dozen people with this twist.
We all knew.
So Mysterio manipulates Peter into giving him full control of Edith. Wow. And we're gonna learn about his big master plan and his motivations and everything. How are we gonna learn that? He's gonna straight up shout it in great detail for several minutes. Oh, he is? Yeah, and he's gonna point at people on his team and explain why they helped and what their contributions were, and we're gonna flash back to other movies. Yikes, seems pretty heavy-handed. Wow, okay, I didn't want to say anything, but heavy hand syndrome does run in my family, and I'd appreciate if you didn't bring it up. Oh, I'm so sorry, I had no idea. That's okay, it's just between heavy hands and ham fists, I don't exactly have it easy. Oh, let's just move on, I'm sorry I brought it up. Yeah, okay, yeah. So why are we saying that Mysterio's doing all this? Oh, well, actually, we're gonna have this big reveal that he's the one who made barf. Oh, making barf is tight. I did that last night, had some weird oysters. That's not what I meant. Oh, whoops. Whoopsie, no, he's the one who made the barf hologram tech from Civil War. Oh, okay, I gotcha. Yeah, so Mysterio was mad that Tony didn't see the full potential of his hologram technology, so he put together a team of disgruntled employees. So the villain is somebody that was scorned by Tony Stark in the past? Yeah, pretty cool, right? Yeah, I mean, kinda sounds like Vulture in Homecoming. Right. Or Ironmonger in Iron Man. Or Whiplash in Iron Man 2. Yes. Or Aldrich Killian in Iron Man 3. Okay, maybe it's non-original, but it's a good formula. Yeah, that's true. So what's Mysterio's plan? Well, he wants to save the world from a fake Avengers-level threat so he can be like the next Iron Man. Why? Because then people will listen to him. What happens if there's an actual Avengers-level threat? I don't know. And if there is an actual Avengers-level threat, aren't there a bunch of other superheroes out there? Oh my god, that's so weird. Whoa, what's going on? I don't know, it kind of feels like you're back on my back about the other Avengers. Oh, I am, aren't I? Let me get off of that thing. So anyway, Mysterio wants to stage this big attack on London, and Peter has to stop him. Uh-oh. So then Spider-Man's gonna have to fight an army of drones. Oh, a third-act CGI disposable army, huh? I like the sound of that. That might be an appropriate thing to put in a Marvel movie. Extremely appropriate, but how is he able to dodge all those bullets? There's gotta be thousands of them firing every second. By, being Spider-Man. Oh, I guess that's a good explanation. Yeah, and then he's gonna have this showdown with Mysterio and all his illusions, but his Spidey sense is gone. Oh yeah, Spidey sense. We haven't really established that other than that arm hair raise in Infinity War. That doesn't seem like such a big deal. Yeah, well, it's gone now. Okay, I guess that's something. It is something. Well, so I guess it's gonna be hard to beat Mysterio without his Spidey sense, huh? Actually, it's gonna be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? How's he gonna do it? By using his Spidey sense. How does he get it back? By getting it back. What do you mean? He couldn't do it, but then he does it by doing it. I guess that works. Yeah, so then he gets the Edith glasses back from Mysterio. Wouldn't Mysterio also need to pass over the controls like Peter did? Apparently not. And so yeah, Peter saves the day. Very cool. But then in the mid-credits scene, it turns out that Mysterio framed Peter for the whole attack and revealed his identity. Oh my god. Yeah, and I figure we could get J.K. Simmons to come back and announce it as J. Jonah Jameson. Oh my god. Yeah, and it turns out Nick Fury was a Skrull the whole movie. That's insane. Pretty crazy, right? Do you think it's a bad sign that the most memorable parts of this movie are gonna be the mid and post-credit scenes? That's probably fine. Okay, just checking. So what do you think overall? I mean, It's okay. Oh, is something wrong? No, it's just that, Endgame is gonna be such a record-breaking movie that it's hard to get pumped about this one, You don't think it's gonna break any records? I mean, no, not after Endgame. I just really like breaking records. Well, maybe we could release it on a Tuesday. Would that make you feel better? Why would that make me feel better?
Huh.
Just gotta get every victory we can.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I will say that Far From Home is my least favorite out of the 3 Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. I just thought it was a big bunch of what, why, nothing.
Gobbledygook.
Yeah. I was like, what's going on?
I don't think a lot of people loved that movie. A lot of devout fans of Spider-Man and Marvel were like, it happened. I was entertained.
I was entertained because I like the characters and I like the actors. I liked them, but I was just like story-wise, like, why?
I enjoyed the one sequence where Spider-Man was sort of trapped in, I believe it was a construction site that Mysterio sort of took over with all his like holographic stuff.
Oh yeah.
I thought that scene was pretty cool. It was
cool.
I thought it was worth it. I thought it was worth the price of admission for that sequence. The film overall didn't really resonate with me in a deep or profound way. If anything, I enjoyed the outtakes of the movie more than the movie itself.
Yeah.
The outtakes are a lot of fun. We have a reaction to that on the channel. The very premise of the movie, as rightly pointed out here, is contrived. But what I am noticing with all of the Spider-Man movies with Tom Holland is there's just a contrived element to it, including No Way Home. There's a very big contrived element. I mean, the very premise, which is spoken about in the trailers of No Way Home, is, oh, okay, make a spell so that people forget who, Peter Parker's Spider-Man. You could have had Doctor Strange cast a spell that made everyone forget who Mysterio was and what he did. And that would have been a much easier way to solve the problem than stepping into the ring and adding 6, modifications to Doctor Strange's spell.
He didn't really think it through, did he? I mean, yeah.
I mean, but the thing about it is the movie goes out of its way to point out that Peter Parker's not the slickest, he's not the sharpest tool in the shed.
Yes.
Because he goes, hold on, so wait. You came to me and asked me to do this bullshit instead of calling up the school you're trying to get into first. So the movie well establishes that not everything is like done correctly. These are gods with absurd power, but they're kind of dumb.
Yeah.
At least in the Spider-Man version of things. Yeah. The movie's silly. Is it entertaining? That's the thing, though. Like, in terms of the entertainment factor, I think that Homecoming was stronger than Far From Home.
Yes, I agree.
And so, Far From Home just felt like a lot of, I guess for a lot of people, gobbledygook. I was entertained by it, but there was no part of me that was like, I gotta go back and watch that again.
No, I remember leaving the theater and I was like, it didn't hit the heights of Homecoming for me. And maybe that's just a thing where, like you said in the previous reaction that we did for Homecoming, when Homecoming came on the scene, it was new and different and fresh and interesting. Yeah. And so I think that's why I attached so much love and enjoyment to it, because it was just so new at the time, and then this is carrying on from that, and it was definitely weaker, at least for me. And so I was just kind of sad when I left it, because I was like, oh, I didn't get that same emotional high that I got from watching Homecoming.
Right.
Yeah.
On to No Way Home.
There's no way home now.
Well, he spends a lot of time at Happy Hogan's home. So
that's true.
Definitely not at home. You guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Be sure to subscribe to Screen Rant and to Ryan George. There is a link in the description below for the video we just watched. If you want to click on that, give the original an upvote. Also subscribe here, bell icon, all notifications, and vote this up to let YouTube know you're enjoying what you're watching. I'm Jaby Koay. This is
Achara Kirk.
Peace out.